You might still be confused of what is a fraction, but let's use some examples, and by the end of this video you will understand what is a fraction. Let's say we have this fraction, which means halves, and let's say we have a chocolate bar, and this chocolate bar was cut into two equal slices. So what a fraction simply is that it shows a part of a whole. This here was a chocolate bar, but I decided to cut this chocolate bar into two slices. So this fraction here, a good way to remember how fractions work is that on the numerator I like to write eat, and on the denominator I like to write cut, because I cut this bar into two slices, and eat, I ate one, so that's why this chocolate bar is represented by half. Now, let's say I had another chocolate bar, but instead I decided to cut this chocolate bar into three equal slices. And let's say I eat two. What is the representation of this as a fraction? Well, you can simply go ahead and remember this little trick over here, eat cut. So I ate two pieces of the chocolate bar, and how many parts did I cut this chocolate bar? Into three. Now I have a question for you. Which one is bigger, 1 over 8 or 1 over 4? You might be thinking that this is bigger, but that's not true. Let me show you why. This chocolate bar was cut into 8 equal pieces. One, that is 8. And this one here was cut into 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, you see, this is smaller. Why? Because the bigger the denominator is, the smaller the pieces are. You see, this piece over here is quite big. It's bigger than this one here, if you compare. So, whenever the denominator is bigger, the fraction is smaller. Now, let's do some practice. How would you represent this fraction, 3/8? How would you represent it? You can pause the video and draw a figure. I'll go ahead and show you what is the answer. Okay, so we have a whole, right? And now we need to cut this pizza, whatever it is, into 8 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, how many pieces did I eat? I ate 3. So let me color 1, 2, 3. So this is the representation of this fraction over here. Now try this one. What would be 4 out of 4? How would you represent this using a figure? Well, we can start by drawing a hole, and by cutting, we can cut this into 4 equal slices. Now I ate 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically I ate one whole pizza. Now try this one. This might be a little challenging. How would you represent this using figures? Well, the first thing you need to do is draw a hole, and then let's cut into 3. That will be something like this. 1, 2, 3, and I need to eat 7, but in this case I can only eat 3. Let me eat 1, 2, 3. But remember, I need to eat 7, so I need to draw another hole and cut this pizza into 3 slices. Let me eat another 3 because I need to eat 7 slices. So far I have 6. Now I need to draw another hole, and I need to divide it into 3 slices. I need to cut it into 3 equal parts, and now I can go ahead and I can eat 7 slices. This is the correct representation of this fraction. Now let's look at these two examples, 0 over 6 and 7 over 0. Now this might be a little confusing for a lot of you, but let me show you what's going on here. So remember, first thing you do is draw a hole, and now let's divide, let's cut, and then we eat. But let's cut into 6 slices. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now You see over here, eat 0. So what is the answer? The answer is 0. Why? Because I decided to eat nothing. I call this a diet. Now 7 out of 0. So first of all, here it says 0. So how can I cut a pizza into 0 equal slices? That's quite impossible. But we have an answer. The answer is called undefined. Alright, let's practice now using some figures, and let's write the fractions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, let's say we have this figure here, and let's say I decide to eat 5 of this chocolate bar. How would you write this as a fraction? You can pause the video and write the answer. The answer will be 5 over 7. Now, what about this one? Try this one. Let's say you have a pizza and you decide to cut it this way, and let's say you decide to eat 2. What is the representation of this one? Well, this will be 2 over 3. Do you remember the little trick? Eat and cut. That's something you should remember. Now, what about this one over here? Let's say we have this like this, and let's say it's cut into 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's say I decide to eat 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and write this as a fraction. This will be 4 over 6. What about this one over here? Can you write this into a fraction? Let's say you have this over here, and let's pretend you have this one, and let's pretend this pizza is also cut into this one. So now, let's say I decide to eat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 slices of this whole, and let's say I decide to eat 1 over here. How would you write this as a fraction? Well, remember the trick, eat over cut. So I ate 6, here 7, that will be 7, and I decided to cut this pizza into 6. You have to be careful. I didn't cut this pizza into 12. I cut it into 6. Each hole is cut into 6. That's why this is 7 over 6. Now, what about this one here? Can you figure what is the fraction for this one? Let's say I have chocolate bars, and they're cut into 3 equal pieces, and I'm very hungry and I decide to eat this one, this one, this one, this bar, this bar, this bar, and I also decide to eat this one. How would you write this as a fraction? Well, first thing you need to remember is eat over cut. So I can either write the cut part, because I cut all these holes in 3, and I decided to eat how many? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 8 over 3 as a fraction. What about this now? Let's say I have this chocolate bar and I cut this into 4, and I cut this also this whole into 4, and let's say I decide to eat 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 more. How would you write this as a fraction? Well, let me write 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. I ate 5, and this was cut into 4 equal parts. So your answer is 5 over 4. What about this one? 2, 1 over 2. How can you represent this using figures? Well, this is your focus here. You have to always remember the rule. You start with a whole and you cut it into this, but this here is already telling you 2, so I need 2 And basically it means that 8 two of these, but it's not finished, because if you notice, this is a mixed number, and a mixed number, this would be the same as 2 times 2, 4, plus 1, that would be 5 over 2. So basically I ate 5 and I cut the holes into 2. Basically I haven't finished eating. I need to cut into 2 equal slices, and then I need to eat one more slice, and now we have the representation of this improper fraction here, 5 over 2, which is the same one as this. So the best way is to turn this mixed number into an improper fraction so you can quickly draw the figures if needed. I hope this video helps you understand fractions. Let me know down in the comments.